up, YouTube? Knowledge is self-determination. So I wanted to talk about the airstrikes in Syria that Donald Trump signed off on. Now apparently Donald Trump okayed an airstrike in Syria to bomb a regime who had basically gassed some children. And that was the reason for Trump actually okaying the airstrike. Now, this is what I want to ask. Because, mind you, people from Syria were on the list of banned countries that could not come and seek asylum or refuge in America. These people are trying to leave and flee the oppression that they are actually in real life, real time, actually dealing with and having to live through. But because they're Muslim, Trump doesn't want them over here. But he feels so bad for them that he'll blow up, he'll send airstrikes and bomb, a city in Syria, right? He'll bomb this city and potentially kill hundreds, possibly even thousands of innocent civilians. Because the media can tell us where the bombs landed and who they killed all they want. But if we're not there, we don't actually know. America's media tends to tell half-truths a lot of time. They don't always deliver the absolute truth, the unadulterated truth. It's a very rare thing with American news and media, because the one thing that they're always going to do is protect American interests, right? But let me ask you this. Would another country be justified in coming over to America and bombing police stations for police officers killing black children? Why the fuck is Bush not up in arms or up in atom when it comes to the atrocities that white people commit towards black people in this country? Or should I say police officers, overwhelmingly white police officers, Klansmen, police officers who are Klansmen, who belong to local terrorist organizations like Nazi skinheads and this, that, and the third. Would another group of people be justified in committing an act towards the police of America for what they do to black men, black women, and black children? Would they? Because apparently America's always justified in punishing someone in another country for acts that they believe are unjust, whilst committing tons and tons of unjust acts towards the people in their own country. And that seems to just fly right over under the radar so far as Americans are concerned. Man, it's completely ridiculous. What Trump is doing in Syria is hypocrisy. You want to help those people? Lift the ban and let these people come to this country. Or, because they're trying to get away. They want to come to America for opportunity and things like that, or just to feel protected. If you care so much, lift the ban and let the people who are trying to flee. Every Muslim isn't a terrorist. Every Muslim isn't a jihadist. Every Muslim isn't trying to strap bombs to themselves and blow up school buses or blow up churches or synagogues. Every Muslim isn't trying to do that. Anyway, I think it's hypocritical of America to constantly judge other countries for the things they do. And we are a country that has the highest incarceration rate, the highest crime rate. And that's all crime. Per capita of any country on the planet. We have more criminals in our country than most other countries have people. Than a lot of other countries, I should say. Not most, but a lot of other countries have people. You understand? I mean, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, the hypocrisy. And I can't believe that people are actually following behind this buffoon, this clown, and okaying what he does just because he does it. Being the president of America doesn't give you complete and total anonymity. You have to answer for the things you do. We need to stop being a bunch of fucking yes men in this country and stand up and talk about the things that are wrong. You don't just sign off on some shit because somebody's the president. You don't just sign off on it because they're the president. If the president does something wrong, he needs to be held accountable for it, because there wasn't anything that, and again, I'm not an Obama fan, but there was nothing that he did that didn't get scrutinized to death by the media and white racist people, white supremacists, because they were all over Barack Obama. They were all on his back, all on his coattails about anything that he did. Even if it was a good idea, they called it a bad idea before it came to fruition and found out to be, hey, this is actually a really good idea. But anyway, I'm not going to go off on a tangent. But think about this for a second. Really look at America's history. We do some really cruddy stuff to a lot of other people, and then claim a better than thou attitude when it comes to the cruddy shit that America does to its own people. You know what I'm saying? Just think about that for a second. Think about that. Just think about that. Oh man, I having a brain fart right now. The president who was, I can't remember who was president during World War II when the Allied forces rallied against Hitler and Stalin. But apparently there was a conversation between our president and Hitler about him not killing Jews. And Hitler kind of scoffed at him like, who the hell do you think you are telling me not to kill Jewish people when you treat your Negroes the way you do? I learned how to treat them. I learned a lot of what I do from watching you all. You can't tell me shit. And it's the same thing today. It's the same thing today, like 80 some odd years later. It's the same exact thing. How the hell can you tell another country of people how to treat their people when you have a 75% black male incarceration rate? 75% of the prisons are filled up with, or rather the population of the majority of prisons in this country are 75% black or brown people. Are you kidding me? Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Y'all can continue to listen to the news and believe this garbage if you want. You need to find alternative means to getting information. Look at the news from other countries, because from my opinion, that's going to be some of the most objective journalism you'll find. Look at the media from the eyes of black people. There are tons of black channels on YouTube. Look at the world in the news from the eyes of non-white people, or non-Americans, or non-American white people. You understand? And then you'll actually start to see glimmers of the truth start to shine through. America covers up a lot because America's constantly on PC patrol or PR patrol. You know what I'm saying? Constantly on PR patrol, public relations patrol, because they don't want to piss off people. You know what I'm saying? Because everything is about making money. We got to say the right things so that the right people will keep spending money. And man, come on, man. Anyway, I think Trump is a hypocrite. I think America as a nation is hypocritical, because you're not more right for bombing Syria. You're not more right for that. You're actually wrong. You want to fight terrorism, but not local terrorism. You want to fight terrorism in other countries, but you don't want to fight the terror that black people are have been subject to for, 400 plus years now? You don't want to fight against that, but you want to fight against Islam and Muslim terrorists. Get out of here, man. And from what I can see, America is one of the biggest terrorist regimes in the world. And then on top of that, he bombed Syria, which pissed off Russia, which pissed off China. He's already pissed off North Korea, who is also allied with China. This dude is going around the world pissing off everybody. He's trying to drag us into a situation that is going to be hard for America to get itself out of. He's trying to use the Bush tactic of starting war to increase his popularity, and it's only getting worse. But that's all I got, man. I just wanted to report on the Syria thing and give my thoughts on that. America is a nation full of hypocrisy and hypocrites and self-serving demagogues who play on people's emotions to get elected into office so that they can only basically use it, just have something extra to put on their resume. And they serve the corporations more so than they serve the people. But believe none of what you hear and half of what you see.